I see myself living a better life out here, have a job, wife, kids. Yeah.
Just got to say I'm still struggling for, for the good life. Yeah. Wish one day that thing could work out good for me. Yeah.
Every day, in our communities, there are those who must put aside dreams and aspirations to deal with the harsh and present realities their vulnerable situations expose them to.
We have young people who are in their 20s who can hardly fill out an application form. We have young people who come here who for 2 or 3 days have not eaten.
The uncertainty and economic pressures of unemployment.
See, 5, 6, 7, 8 years I have not worked anywhere. I have not been able to work to earn any money.
In the 5 years that I'm out of school, I only had a job for a year. And that was with my auntie husband.
Since 2010, that is when the poverty started.
You never saw the extent of how bad it was, obviously, until you interview somebody and then they tell you their story. And it wasn't just, yes, that community of Gara, I know it's underprivileged, but that's all I know. But then actually doing those interviews, it made me see how they tried to be economically stable. Then you see how bad some of the situations are, obviously, from those interviews.
You have time we just get it good, but you have time when it's hard. It's hard. If you can drink tea alone, sometimes I will drink tea. If I have $1, I buy 4 bread, I share it how I can, and so we do. So I remember that my mother just give me some time, my mother just cook some time, give them. And my mother just give me a little help too.
But in spite of these difficult circumstances, there still exist pockets of hope.
Let me give you a little secret. A lot of people who have money don't have skills. And a lot of people who don't have money have skills. So what I did, I tried to measure 2 of them together. Do a little work, have a little, save a little, and I created the idea. So I capitalize at this moment, when most people are using money for other things, I capitalize my moment, having some money, and marriage it into the skills, and capitalize when normally people with money don't see in the ideas that I see.
First of all, it's indoor farming on an AC unit, so everything is different.
I realized that history had created a greater that we never ever make chocolate in this country until 2001. So that enhanced the community and that make the village known for chocolate itself.
We have a young woman who now is captain of one of the Bailey's boats. She did yacht maintenance, and she's running that boat. She's running that boat.
One of the experiences that I had working in the Grosile community, which is one of the most affluent communities, I try to use the affluent individuals to support the non-affluent. So one of the things that I did was that there's a group in Grosile, they call the Gruwell Center. They were receiving from all of the hotels in the north $1 US per visitors. So that money would go into that group to support the vulnerable. So they had all this money just stacking up, and they were not able to utilize the money. When I became the officer, one of the things that I did was to create a revolving credit fund so that the young people that were sitting by the road and whatever, and they had some of the constraints that we described earlier, they were able to do crochet. And it sells a lot because it's unique, it's handmade, so people would pay a fortune for that. So they would form themselves into 5 members in a group, and they would all borrow. And they would support each other in terms of, if you cannot pay a loan this month, we all come together pitching and we pay for you. So that is still working in Grosile.
These examples shed light on possible pathways to resilience.
This factory started by the top of the mountain with Mott Green, Edmund Brown, and Doug Brown. 3 guys started the chocolate factory. Well, the idea comes from Mott Green visiting the company, visiting Grenada in 1988. He came up into this village in 1988, spent almost 12 to 13 years in the village before we started the chocolate. So once morning I get up and I went into my farm where he lives up in the mountain, and he told me he have a dream to make a chocolate factory, small chocolate factory. I only started, nobody knows how to make chocolate. So we just registered the company and we leave and we went in the US for 3 months to study how to make chocolate.
That level of thinking and determination comes in many forms. For others, it was circumstance which triggered action.
The creativity of this business really come about by unemployment at the day. I was a young man at the time, unemployed, had a very young family at the same time, didn't have a steady job, but had basic skills and ingenuity in me that actually I could have bring out. And over the years, knew and having that ability, I never really bring it to practice until the unemployment strike up against me. I wanted to be self-reliant in terms of to mind my family, take care of myself, which is a proud moment for me at any time in my life.
That drive to be a provider and self-reliant was also what kept the inexperienced team of chocolate visionaries going. They would not let hurdles set them back.
So we went into the coast, which is about 3 weeks coast, in California, Berkeley to the exact, and then we learned how to make chocolate. Then we came back here and started sourcing our own machines. Start making our own winnowing machine, our own roaster. We started inventing machine ourselves. So we can make a small batch of chocolate, about 20 pounds of chocolate at a time. We're using firewood to roast the beans. So that was a really hard task. Because sometimes I put too much wood in, the temperature goes too high, we take out wood, it goes too low. So it was a really hard work to get it right. But all of a sudden we start working hard and we start getting it right. That was 2001.
Well, actually, I started the business in a very small stage, like a child, just born, and didn't know anything much, but decided to grow and learn all the habits you see around it. And I grew the business on that same level. Over the years, I keep improving the business and make it that giant today.
But what seems to be common is having someone who believed more could be done and was willing to step up to the challenge.
Just farming, planting vegetables like tomatoes, cabbages, coconut nutmegs, bananas, all these things I was farming. I was always doing those things. But up come mud, and I've been around mud for about 30 years. So I was looking at what he was doing, and that changed my whole life. Since we started the chocolate factory, that changed my whole life. Everything just changed. So I'm doing less farming now, but more chocolate making right now. But I'm still doing farming.
A year ago, I came at this farm. I was working at the bottom. They have another piece of farm at the bottom. And then I was brought here when I was trained for about a month on how to grow mushrooms by David, someone from England. About a month's training, yeah. And then, well, I exceeded in what they wanted me to do, and then I became in charge of all this. Everything is run basically through WhatsApp. We have this group, like the person who taught me how to plant this mushroom. We talk on WhatsApp, we like take pictures. Everything is like, it's our meeting room. This group is our meeting room where we meet the people who invested in all this, because they're always flying over England, America, so it's not really face-to-face stuff, more WhatsApp and phone calls, and yeah. But we all have a good relationship. It's like a family, I guess, because we all been here, we all know each other. Yeah, we grew up together, so.
Well, the passion started in Grenada, and then we went into the US, and from the US we came back, and then we just started going. So the passion really started from here. When Mud saw the cocoa on the trees and there was a good price for the farmers, so we decided to make a chocolate factory and try to help the farmers with a better quality of cocoa and try to pay them more for the cocoa. So that's where the really things started from.
In the community of Debarra, way to the extreme, they call it Barbados. When you leave Castries and you drive to Debarra, it's like you drive into Barbados. There are a lot of natural resources. The Turtle Watch, they have Turtle Watch, they have bird watching, they have the opportunities for a number of natural rural programs, tourism programs.
Before the Turtle Watch started, very few people knew about Turtle Sand Grunters. When the program started, it brought Debawa on the map. It got Debawa on the international map. And what it did, it really got the young people to a point that they believed in themselves and they could make a difference in their lives. And a lot of the young people were looking forward to earn a living out of tour guiding and throughout the turtle season, which is from March until November.
But how can you use examples like these to create further solutions which lead to the empowerment of individuals and the betterment of communities?
What do you think the community needs?
On-the-job training. Instead of coming and do the workshop and then leave, you identify a couple of projects, you identify the inputs, what it'll take to get it started, and you come and get it started, and while you're doing it, you build it. It's just like anything else is being built. Like just as, you know, the Facebook we run after, the Twitter, the WhatsApp, it started somewhere small, and then as it build, you bring in different skill set. So I think you start a project or projects there, and you bring in people as you go and teach them on while it's happening. But I don't think coming in and doing a workshop and then leaving, it have been done over the years, and it's not working.
From a community standpoint, it's always interesting to get the gatekeepers on board, identify the gatekeepers. Not easy. The hardest thing to do is to identify the gatekeepers.
But first, I think we need to promote back civil society. Civil society, I mean that they need to have more community groups forming in communities, and some of the assistants go through them.
And for me, the big thing, employment and education. If we address those two issues, I think a great deal of good will happen with our families and our society and our communities.
Community involved by just getting all the people in the village to work at the chocolate factory. So all the workers who work is from this village. So that enhances all people around, you know. And most of the people in the village and then just up the street. So that enhances the village and the community and the farmers as well. So that's a good plus for the chocolate factory and the farmers and the people in the community.
My family and our home, the McDonald's. Basically, how many of us that work in the company now? About four of us working at the company. Before it was like 5, 6. My family, I'll be able to help my family more in terms of bills, getting things done home and stuff like that, you know. Without that, and then again, cut costs for us, so you could put more into your family financing.
In the community, we decided to get people in the village to work because everybody wanted a job at the factory. But Mott said that we're going to use the people in the community to enhance the village because he lives here for a lot of years in this village. So that's the reason why you get the people in the village to work at the chocolate factory, which is very important.
I came here, I asked that when Mott was in existence, I came and I asked him for a job. So he told me like only on Saturdays. So I told him no problem. And since I came, I started straight. He had done me great because I have 2 kids and it's a great help towards them.
Well, right now the company provides 30-something jobs. 30-something persons work with the factory. We have farm crew, we have people who work at the shop, and then we have most of the workers work at the factory. There's about 13 of us in the factory.
In small islands with diverse challenges, creating solutions which have far-reaching impact has all been part of the success of these community approaches. They were driven first by individuals, but spread through the support of an engaged community.
The side of developing the business is really with me, myself and the farmers. So I go around and I look for the positive farmers that I can work with, and we both work something out. And over the years, I build my relationship with them and create a small basket of farmers, which actually supply my business. And then I create some of my own farming. which assists me in capitalizing a little more money so I can make new ventures in other areas.
We have a young person, a young woman who her mother passed away. There wasn't any adult in the family, and I think there was about 5 or 6 young siblings that she had to take care of, and she came into Guards course. She came in with all of that hanging on her, and she did very well, and she ended up working with an organization, and now they have actually promoted her to other positions in the unit. And she is one of our great success stories in how she has achieved and moved from nothing to into what she is today.
They have a little job, especially working with the chocolate factory. We said they work with the factory, but if they sell us cocoa, that is important because we pay them $2.50 a pound for the cocoa. Which the association will just give them $1.50 and we give them $1 more for the cocoa. So that's a good incentive for the people around once you decide to sell organic cocoa for us. It's going to be a big plus for them. We said they don't work at the factory, but they can sell us the cocoa and then we can benefit.
A business like that can sustain a family and keep a family together. Because you know, some people say, oh, money is not the issue, but money is part of the issue. If a family don't have money, you break up. Simple. If a family is strong financially, I mean, you're much better off. So I think that helps, and it helps a lot because, I mean, in other situations, don't have that ability financially, you'll break up a family in a shot.
It changed a lot financially because I could purchase what I need, build my house from that, and I build my mom's house from working at the chocolate factory, which is very important. And I'll make sure that my brother will get something. Like I have my nephew work with me up here. Because of the space limited, I don't bring one of my next nephew up. But once there is space, I'll bring him up. So he can enhance himself and build himself too. But I make sure when I walk here, I build my house and I build my mom's house.
It's been more than a helping hand there because through doing this, I've been able to do a lot more for my family. My family has kind of been dependent on me, but it's still nice to see that I can help everybody through this and what this has given to me and everything. So it has given me a good forward in my life.
Well, the role we get from the government is concession. That's the only thing we get. To bring in our machine concession. If anything else, we just do it all ourselves. Most people depend on politicians to give them things. And then that is not the right way to go because, you know, but we build our own machines, we do our own marketing, we do our own thing ourselves.
This is the next step, that even if we give you some assistance, you have a responsibility for yourself, for your family, right? To move to the next level.
In fact, my skills could wipe out unemployment in Grenada. I don't know if the government recognizing that, but I could actually wipe out unemployment in Grenada with my basic skills. I mean, we might take $10 million and build a new prison, but here what? Take that $10 million and build 2 factories. Then you have less people going to prison because when a man working, there is no crime in most time. I saw it during Ivan. During Ivan time, there is no crime. Because most people was working during Ivan time, and here what's going on? There was no crime taking place much, and that was an open time for people to do crime. And because it was working, construction was booming, there was getting work, there was actually had no crime. So here what? Instead of building a prison, $10 million a prison will cost, $50 million a prison will cost, let's build 2 and 3 factories and create jobs. 7,000 people will actually be working on the farms. And what will happen? You'll actually wipe out that big block of young people sitting at home and wondering what's the next move. We could solve that problem.
Well, personally, it is a lot of responsibility. It is because I have 6 rooms, 6 AC units. I also do the electrician work on the unit, so I always have to be there. I work every day of my life, every single day. Not a single day off. I always have to be here. So it is challenging. I'm young. I do want to go to parties, do want to do certain things, but I guess I put it aside to be here. So I guess it matured me a little through the year. Yeah, gave me a lot, feeling of responsibility, being here and being able to take charge of it, say let's do this, let's do that, we have to get this done. Yeah.
It has done a lot for me. It changed my life, you know, keep you busy, really focus because you always have to be thinking what's going to happen next. see different people, you meet different people every day.
Just coming and talking and so on and doing workshops, I don't think that's working. Because persons, yes, they come to the workshop, they come to the meetings, but nothing is being done on the ground in a practical manner to establish a business or some enterprise or whatever. And I think that's what is needed, where persons could see something practical happening.
I see myself doing this one day for myself, or becoming like the person who taught me. He's like a guru. He just goes around the world teaching how to grow mushrooms, and that's his job. That's what he does. So that would be nice to see myself doing that one day.
This is the story of a number of our young people who, as I say, I can't stress the fact that they've come empty-handed. They've come empty-handed, and this is what they've turned themselves into. We always tell our young people in orientation, all you need is an open mind and bring your lunch, and we give you everything else.